Hello? Hello. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Let's tune in with the grounding frequencies of 432 hertz of gorgeousness. Beautiful. Gorgeous, even. Okay. I hope you are well and good and gorgeous. Well, I know you're gorgeous. Oops. I know you're gorgeous because you're here on this channel of love, in this frequency of love, where it's sunshine and rainbows all the time, most of the time. Let's see what the messages for today are. Whoop! One has come out, and it's a 2. Bless you. Relaxation. Yes, you have done some big work. Big work. Sorry, cat fluff. And I'm also getting the frequency that you are emitting, your harmonics, your harmony, your personal song, your soul song, and how that affects the world. Look, the angels are jamming with you. We also have these lilies, beautiful earth angel wings. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay, relaxation. Okay, relaxation. Relaxing can be tricky when you're used to running all the time, right? It's like moving away from fight or flight mode. You know, you had all these weights and you had to keep treading water in order to stay afloat, right? Or to stay above water. And it's exhausting, it's tiring, but we cope, we manage through the healing process. You are releasing the weights off of you, and now you can float, right? You don't need to struggle and strain and be in constant motion in order to stay above the surface. Now it's a different way of being, a float state, right? Where you can just breathe and feel the subtle rise and fall, the bob in the water, right? It's like the water's like this as you breathe. And then every once in a while you're like, oh, I should float. I should tread. I gotta tread. I'm used to treading. If I don't tread, this floating, I don't know, can I trust it, right? That's that old muscle memory, nervous system kicking back in. And so to rewrite yourself, to rewrite, yes, is to remind yourself when you feel those like, the clenching, I need to move, I gotta do, right? No, 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 we're okay. We're lighter now. We don't have all that baggage pulling at us, trying to take us down, right? Oh yeah, okay, right? Okay, what do we got here? The third wave. This is part of your purpose, part of why you are here on this earth at this time, was to do the healing, to break the generational curses, to forge a new way, a new path, to be the pioneer of light and become the beacon, working smarter, not harder. Yes. Okay. Yes, the third wave is this acknowledgement of you chose to be here in this space and time to contribute your soul song, your frequency, to help elevate consciousness and resonance and others. You're the one who goes forth and puts all the signs this way, go this way. And you've got you've set up a gorgeous spot for all those who wander in, who find their way, who got so curious about that gorgeous perfume in the air that they followed it, right? They heard the song and they want to follow it to the source. Okay, let's see what the runes have for us in this relaxation period. Not that many. I guess it's only 3. Oh, wow. This has been the process. This is the process. Interesting. We've got was, which is about death and transformation, releasing the old that no longer serves, the transition. Let's get the book. It is magic, liberation, rebirth, spiritual awakening, and protection. Yeah, you were meant to come to this earth to be reborn and have a spiritual awakening, right? Tap in to the frequency of magic. It deals with our initiation into the mysteries of life, and it brings a message that there will be testing and transformation, a symbol of death and rebirth, okay? And then what's gorgeous is that after the initiation and death and rebirth, breakthrough, awakening, enlightenment, balance point, transformation. Okay, Degas. Gorgeous. And then, now that you are transformed into a butterfly, was. You turn into this gorgeous white horse that is invisible in this light. There it is. Teamwork, trust, harmony, beautiful. This is where you're at. Marriage and loyalty, gorgeous. This is the transformation. This was part of your divine blueprint, your soul's mission, the reason you came to this earth, onto this earth, into this time and space right now, is to go through the initiation, the death and rebirth, the transformation. And the gorgeous, beautiful power and majesty of movement. The horse, right? This is the year of the fire horse, passion and power and purpose. Iwas, this is a white horse. So pure intention, removed, integrated, balanced. The heart space of a horse is massive. I think it's like, I don't know, the size of a human head, maybe bigger. I don't know. I have to Google that. How big is a horse compared to a human head? A horse's heart. Okay. Look at that. Patience. Your 10 of Cups is coming. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh yeah. 12:12 on the timer. Okay, but it requires a stepping away from old defenses, confines, boundary lines, comfort zones, right? It takes stepping out, taking risks, progressing, movement towards the unknown, towards the uncertain, the unsureties, for the lessons, for the experiences, for the redefining of the self, right? This is how we expand and grow and evolve, through our movement, our forward movement, momentum, even. Liberation. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and it's a resetting of a baseline. What seems normal for us is something we've conditioned our senses, our everything into considering to be our baseline. So anytime we make a shift, we make a change, things feel uncomfortable, things feel uncertain because we're doing something different, right? And so this is why you need to get very comfortable in the unknown, with the unknown, forging through the unknown, because that's how we take control and reset our our set point, right? Our baseline. And same with the analogy of treading water. That was the norm for the majority of your life, right? And the struggle, the hard, consistent movement. And so it feels weird to not be struggling, right? All of a sudden, to not struggle feels foreign, feels off, feels uncomfortable, but only for a little bit, right? Only until you reassure all of your senses that you're okay. This is all okay, right? Okay, what do we got here? Okay, we've got the strength of your connection with your divine spirit team and the signs and synchronicities that they leave in the real world. Your ability to follow the cake crumbs to the cake, right? And it's very different. You know, we were given breadcrumbs. We were breadcrumbed by the narcissists in our lives, right? Who gave the bare minimum. And we were conditioned through life to celebrate with gratitude the bare minimum, the crumbs, right? And the universe is like, no, 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 you deserve a whole cake, but you have to get us there. You have to get there, right? The universe is like, I'll put on the birthday party, I'll provide the cake, but you got to get there. And also, we'll leave you some clues, right? We'll help you get there because we want you to get there. Because your harmonic contribution to the universe is very important. Okay, so there's strength and patience. The lion also is not the king of the jungle. The one who waits and rests and rejuvenates in preparation for fast, sudden expenditures of energy. It even looks like this goddess is standing on a two-tiered cake there. She's the topper of the cake. And it's also this rebalancing, right? It's like she's holding a scale and dropping these coins. And there's two coins that land first, and then there's this massive amount. And I feel like the first two are testers. Are you able to receive? And are you able to hold? These are very important aspects and tests, right? Awas talked about Awas and Iwas and Degas. Okay, we got that. Where was I going? The testers. Yes, Awas spoke about testing first, or there being tests as part of your transformation. The universe can't give you your spiritual inheritance if you're not able to receive, right? Or if you are still allowing others to take from you. And so this is why there's testing. This is why they call it Earth School, right? you have to progress. You have to pass the tests. You have to take the lessons. You have to graduate. And there's that effort, right? The collaboration. Beautiful. So this is the embodiment of this, okay? The Queen of Pentacles in her opulence, in her independence, holding her own, focused on her own. This is a state of being, not a female. All of these things are a state of being, an energetic resonance, right? The masculine energy is the courageous and action taking, and the feminine is the faithful and intuitive, right? And by faithful, I mean having faith, trusting in the unseen, the unknown, and guided by the intuition. This is why this moon is so massive in the background. And she's focusing on her own things, right? Surrounded by gorgeousness. Her clothing, her fabrics, her throne, and roses and wheat, right? These in full bloom, ready to harvest. But there's no urgency to harvest because there's no dependency on it. She is sitting in her fruits of her labor. Yes, I'm also flipping to the struggling versus the floating, and the effect that has on the surface of the water and even beneath the surface of the water, and clarity, right? When you're struggling, when you're moving, you're just trying to keep your head up. And so you're not really seeing, and maybe you can't see because it's dark and cloudy, right? Because you're kicking up all the dust from the bottom. But when you're floating, everything's calm, everything's still. You can hear things, you can see things with more clarity, you can receive things. Okay. She's also grounded, right? The Pentacles is the earth element. And so this is where that patience comes in. This is a period of momentum building, of consistent tending and balance. Just like we have action time of the day and then we have resting time of the day. You have just done like a marathon of healing, rewriting the nervous system. And this you deserve a rest. You deserve a break after that. Respite. Okay, look at this. Look at this. Just landed right on the Queen of Pentacles. In this space, in this calm stillness that you've created for yourself to bloom, it's your fertile soil that you have planted yourself in, right? Periods of darkness, going into the dark and learning, recognizing, facing the fear of the dark and discovering that you are a seed that is planted, and the process of reaching for the sun as you grow and emerge transformed from this tiny little seed, right? But even the seed, like this third wave, the seed contains all the information within it that it needs to become what it was always meant to be, which was a gorgeous bloom of your choice, right? Okay, you're also learning and aligning your thoughts with your words and recognizing the power that those things have when in line with each other. The strength that affords one, right? To believe something that you speak empowers it. When you speak something that goes against your belief systems, there's a canceling out, right? An incongruency. It's like, I don't know, two lasers that cancel each other out or combine and create a powerful point of focus that literally changes reality. Okay. Oh, yes. As I was just staring at the skull on EA was here, death and transformation came out as a confirmation. This process is necessary. We must release the old. You've got to shed the old skin. You've got to progress. Like, childhood, evolving from babies to who we are now, we needed to let go of all those previous versions. Otherwise, we'd still be babies, right? But somehow it gets harder the older that we get. And I mean, I say somehow, but it's because there are a lot of systematic conditioning environments in our society right now that are working against our divine blueprint. That one's not the blueprint, that one's the acknowledgement of your choice to be here right now. But I feel like it is very much attached to your blueprint because it's your purpose, it's what you're bringing to the energetic resonance of the whole. That is why you are here. And to me, that is your blueprint, your divine purpose, right? This doesn't necessarily mean that you have to start, turning water into wine and feeding everybody with a loaf of bread or anything, but just your melody, just your beingness resonates. And look up sympathetic resonance. It's when you've got two tuning forks near each other and you tap one and it starts vibrating. Well, this one will start vibrating just in proximity to the same tune, sound, frequency, right? This is sympathetic resonance. And we can do this on all the levels, whatever your resonance is. So when you've made it your mission, your purpose to hold the frequency of love, then anyone and everyone who is open to receiving those frequencies will elevate just in proximity. And that is strength. That is power. That is purpose. That is beautiful because it's your beingness that is your purpose. You don't have to do anything except your own energetic maintenance, right? Which is a lot. Yeah, there's a lot to do there. But like a muscle that gets stronger over time, this is that momentum building. You start to get really good at it. It starts off feeling weird, right? It starts off feeling uncomfortable, feeling awkward even because it's something different. This is that stepping out of your comfort zone. It's always going to feel a little bit foreign until you re-establish, reset. Yes. Okay, we've got your spiritual tending of your garden, which is beautiful. Yes, this is all another important aspect to the transformation, to the healing, to the centering and resonating. I don't think you can do the type of healing that we're talking about without coming face to face with your higher self and spirituality. To me, spirituality is all of the dimensions not within the physical, even though it rewrites the physical. It's like the underground mechanisms. And when that has shifted, it has to manifest in the real, in the 3D. What is this? Right, but it's a choice, right? Everything is always a choice. And when you break down all of your options to its baseline frequency, it's either fear or love, right? All your reactions, all your emotions, all your responses, all choices are one of those. And this was part of what you've been learning in your sanctuary space, right? In your heart temple, whatever that looks for you in your process of healing and strengthening of self. Yes, this learning what to focus on, right? Focus on the things you don't have or focus on the things that you do. One is inherently a fear-based energy, and the other is a hopeful, love-based energy, right? And by choosing love everywhere, you are resetting your frequency. Let's put that over here because this is the transformation area. We may have been like that, right? We may have been raised to assume the worst case scenario, or at the very least, be prepared for the worst case scenario, which requires you thinking through all of the scenarios to find the worst case scenario so that you can be prepared for it, right? And this retraining this choosing of the love is to recognize that you are empowering whatever you focus on. So choosing love is scanning every scenario to find the best case scenario and being prepared for that. And this requires a trusting in self, right? A confidence that if it turns out less than ideal, you can adapt. You will still be okay. You will still retain the lessons, the experience, the knowing how to do it different next time, right? And that's not so bad. That turns it into empowerment versus victimization, right? Oh, these things happen to me, wah, right? And it's like, nowhere, nowhere. Yes. We've got the looking within. This is giving me that, the stillness of the pool to be able to see beneath the surface. And it landed on the spiritual tending. And that's where you glimpse, that's where you see, that's where you come face to face sometimes with your divine spirit team, angels, right? Ascended masters, ancestors that are all available to help. Sometimes, you'll hear the words of your passed on relative, um, telling you to do something or say something or making you think of a thing that's them affecting, right? And other people, they actually, come face to face. Everybody has their way of engaging with the spiritual realm. But you need the right environment to hear, because the spiritual realm is quiet. It's subtle. It doesn't argue. It doesn't force. It doesn't try to convince. Because when you are in line with your intuition and your heart, there will be a sympathetic resonance that produces a clear focus point, right? A clear yes, this feels right on all the levels, right? We've got a tower coming in. Okay, and towers can be anything. This could be sudden manifestations appearing and it knocking you off your usual everyday routines, right? It could be it's a switch up. It's a pivot point. It's a unknown. It's not meant to be known. And this is why the only thing that you can do to prepare for that kind of thing is to develop the confidence and strength to endure, but to adapt, to ride the wave, right? A tower can be like a wave, and you can either be on top of it, get on top of it, and enjoy the ride, or you can get hit by it and, be under it and not enjoy the ride, right? And so this is choice, right? This is there was this thing people started saying, F my life, right? And just, if words have power, right? What you say and what you believe. And so, no, bless my life, bless my life. These things are beautiful, bless my life. I've got things to be grateful for, right? Just like that. Loving partnerships, reciprocating relationships. Like, we got a rainbow confirmation. This coming in after the tower could be something along the lines of beautiful partnerships coming together, inner children, playful exploration, abundance, sharing, and caring. Sharing and caring. I love that card. I love it. It's beautiful. Okay, let's get a archetype here. Thanatos. Thanatos. It's got to be down here somewhere. There it is. Death. Wow. It is tempting to oversimplify death and sum it up as transformation. But the true archetypal resonance, blah, 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 blah. But the true archetypal resonance of Thanatos cannot be easily assimilated or contained. Death is ongoing and omnipresent. Yeah. As we evolve, old must be released so that the new could be born, right? An eternal response to the gift of birth. Witnessing the ending of another being, creature, phase, or stage has deep consequences for the psyche. We are forever changed by Thanatos as it sweeps us under its wings, making us relinquish control in every form. You can't fight it. It's gotta go through its process. It leaves a mark of ash upon our heart, signifying we have touched the cusp of the underworld and will return to the land of the living eventually with more compassion and wisdom to share. This capacity is needed in our world. One who has faced the annihilation of Thanatos can face anything. This is beautiful. This is the resilience, right? This is experiential. The more you emerge reborn, the more you recognize and understand the process. This is the process of life. The living experience involves death. They're different sides of the same coin. When this card appears, it signifies an initiation into the underworld. Beautiful. Look at all this confirmation of death, initiation, and transformation. Awaz said something about initiation. It deals with our initiation into the mysteries of life, and it brings a message that there will be testing and transformation. And our test is in every moment, what we choose, how we choose to respond, how we choose to engage. Okay, and this surrender to the unknown, to the unseen. I totally shut the thing here. When in light, grieving, mourning, bearing witness to all that is. And this is part of this relaxation process, this integration process. It's okay to grieve the loss of the old way, of the old version, of the old self, of the things that are no longer. And this connection with your spiritual nature garden is a way to ease it a little bit, ease the transition, the process, the shedding, because we recognize that all is energy and energy is eternal. And so things are just constantly in a state of transformation. When one thing ends, when one form ends, it actually transforms into something else. And so that's a beautiful thing, right? So too do we. Okay, when in dark, fear or insensitivity to old age, illness, and the dying. Right. That's part of denial. And wounding. Okay, facing Thanatos leads us to Atheia, which is truth. Facing death leads us to truth. There are those with a great gift for navigating Thanatos energy. Thankfully, we find these generous souls in emergency rooms, hospitals, hospice centers, and the like. Yes. Yes, I think we will get some love messages after that one. Oh, let's get these love messages. I also this is a grieving deck. I spoke with the creator and she was grieving a loss of a loved one when she created this deck as part of her transmutation process. That redirecting energy into something else to transform it, right? Alchemy. Let's see what comes out. Earth contracts and release. Beautiful. Beautiful confirmation. These earth contracts. Okay, so this recognition that you chose to be here in this time and space, well, all souls involved also chose their path, when it starts, when it ends, and all of the key points in between. And so this is where that deep faith and trust and surrender comes in. Trust that it's all part of the process, right? When towers come in, trust that they're all part of the process, that it was part of all the souls involved. Ultimate game plan, which I recognize is a very hard thing to do. Okay, and then release. Because we can't change what is and what is meant to be. We can only get ahead of it or get on top of it or get bowled over by it. I guess we have the choice, right? We have the free will. And your resilience, your ability to choose and to ride the wave, that's your strength. And so when you're struggling, reach out to people, to community, to connection. Help someone else. Help someone else help you, help them help you. Right? Okay. Okay, so lots of death and transformation. And I feel like this is also, I mean, it went one way, but I feel like this is about you getting to a place where you can justify for yourself that this is a time period for you to relax into who you have evolved into, who you are right now. There's a recognition of all of the things that had to be released in order to get here. And finding peace in it all, because they were all necessary steps to getting here, right? And also, it's just so much transformation, so much that maybe there were times where you didn't have the proper time to mourn or heal or whatever you needed to do, some of those things, because another transformation was happening, another death and release was happening. And now you have reached a place where you are meant, you can give yourself that time. You can take that time, right? It's like banked holiday days or whatever. It's okay for you to take all those days and put them together and take the time now before you're off and running at full tilt, right? To the next thing. Because we've also got this conserving of your energy and strength. This relaxation is a twofold importance, a time to mourn, acknowledge, release, strengthen, prepare, and be. Okay. Wow. You use the power of love to move through illusions and shift into awareness. Transformation. Seriously. Yeah. Yeah. This was part of your game plan. This is why you came here, to show, to lead by transformation, by example, through your presence, through your resonance, through your beingness. You don't have to tell people about your transformation. It will be written all over you. It's written all over this. And my nose is itchy, which is one of my guides comes in and tickles my nose. Okay. Do we dare? Do we dare? Oh, it's already that time. Okay, we'll just take that one, that one, that one, and that one to close it out. Okay. Okay. So spiritual tending, yes, beautiful. While you are in your chrysalis, this is where you come face to face with spirit, right? When you are liquid goo, where you're like, is this what we're supposed to do? Am I supposed to be liquefied right now, right? In your safe space to heal, your sanctuary, to look within, to see, who am I? Who do I want to be? Someone free. And you emerge a butterfly, right? Look at that. Beautiful. There's also the protection rune there. Okay. Choices, patience. Okay. Trust the process. Keep choosing love. Look, we've even got the rainbow here. You know what and how to choose now, right? Look at this. This is the scale here that is being rebalanced in your favor. Trust it. Be patient for it. Don't look for it, because then you recognize that you don't have it, and then you empower that. Focus on what you do have, right? We've got, what's this over here? Oh my goodness. Beautiful. I mean, yes, it's the devil, but this is the old way. This is the doubts and the fears, the adversaries, the things that come up against you that make you feel awful, that hold you back, that fill you with regret, and you want to go back and hold on to the things that need to be transformed. This is what you've put to death, right? This is what you've transformed away from. Someone who is not held back by doubts and fears anymore, right? This could be the tower, this recognition that it's my own doubts and fears that have been holding me back this whole time. That release is important. I actually want to put release over here. Look at that beautiful card. Okay, and the final one. Yes, beautiful. Your ability to do this The star is the healer, the one who heals self first and then becomes the healer because they have embodied, embraced, and alchemized this process of death and release. You need to own it, claim it, and hold it in order to have birth of the new, right? This is the cyclical nature of life. You can't pick up a life stick without the other end, death, being attached. They are one of the same, right? So you're powerful. Look at the strength, your resilience, your transformation. This is what has empowered you. This is what has allowed your beliefs to line up with your words, with what you speak, right? These are old doubts and fears and limiting beliefs. You put those to death to become the star, to strengthen self and create a powerful line of focus that shifts worlds in your favor. Okay, there you have it. Lots of stuff going on in there. Okay, take this time. You've been through a lot. You deserve respite. Focus on your harmony and be your gorgeous self. Love and appreciate you, and hope to see you next time. Bye for now.